Welcome to how to learn more than 500 Portuguese words in less than 5 minutes. If I could show you a way of learning more than 500 Portuguese words in less than 5 minutes, would you be interested in learning about it? Even if you find difficult to learn another language? What if the English and Portuguese language have more in common than we think? Hi, my name is Clésia Mendes and I am originally from Portugal. And just like you, I was amazed when I discovered what I am about to share with you. In just a few moments, I will show you exactly what I mean. Let's get started. Words ending in al. Words ending in al are written in the exact same way. Words ending in al in English are written in the same way in Portuguese. For example, normal would be normal, cultural would be cultural, educational would be educacional, and international would be internacional. And there are more than 100 words that fall within this rule. Isn't that amazing? Let us move on to the second group of words. Words ending in ency. Words ending in ency in Portuguese end in encia. That little accent you see on E, that means that is a prolonged E. I'll show you what I mean. Fluency would be fluência. You see the sound, nasal sound, fluência. Congruency would be congruência. Frequency would be frequência. And transparency would become, well done, transparência. And there are more than 100 words that fall within this rule. So we already have more than 200 words under our belt. Let's move on to the third group of words. Words ending tion. Words ending tion in Portuguese end in cao. That with a little tilde, that is the way we read it, it's sound. Let me give you an example of words. So nation would be nação. Action would become ação. Activation would turn into ativação. And construction would become, well done, construção. And you guessed, there are more than 100 words that fall within this rule as well. So we already covered 3 groups of words. Let's move on to the fourth group of words. Words ending ly. Words ending ly in Portuguese end in mente is read mente. And as example, logically would become logicamente. Metaphorically would become metaforicamente. Morally would be moralmente, and originally would become originalmente. And if you're saying that probably there are more than 100 words that fall within this rule, you are absolutely correct. And let's cover the fifth and final group of words, words ending ty. Words ending ty in Portuguese end in ade, ad. So, examples, prosperity would be prosperidade. Activity would become atividade, community would become comunidade, and density would be densidade. And that's amazing because there are more than 100 words that fall within this rule as well. So that's congratulations for you. You just have learned more than 500 Portuguese words in less than 5 minutes. Isn't that amazing? So let's recap. Words ending in al are written in the same way, so normal would be the same as normal. Words ending in ency in Portuguese would end in encia. Fluency equals fluência. Words ending tion in Portuguese end in cao, são. Action translates into ação. Words ending in ly in Portuguese end in mente. Originally would become originalmente, and words ending ty in Portuguese and in ade, prosperity would become prosperidade. So let's do a few exercises very quickly. Educational would be educacional. Fluency would be, well done, fluência. Action would become ação. Ideally would become idealmente, and finally prosperity would become prosperidade. Well done! So now that you have learned more than 500 Portuguese words in less than 5 minutes, I would like to extend a challenge to you. What if you could find a Portuguese book, something like from a book from Paulo Coelho? He wrote several. There is one that I really like that is called The Alchemist. It's O Alquimista in Portuguese. So if you could get hold of the O Alquimista in a Portuguese version and just discover how many words you are able to recognize, or at least you are able to roughly understand the meaning. And then just keep me posted below and see what you have found. So, if you would like a copy of the PowerPoint slides, just email me at 500portuguesewords@gmail.com and put 500 Portuguese words in the subject line. And you can also find me on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Clésia.Mendes. And that's it. You just have watched how to learn more than 500 Portuguese words in less than 5 minutes.